Before we begin, thank you very much to Slurpee. Yum. For becoming a patron over at patreon.com/TJOmega. Every little bit of support there is one more day I do not have to accept a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. And yes, I have been offered one of those. Not going there. Not happening. And you guys keep me from having to go to measures like that. So thank you very much. I appreciate you letting me keep my soul. So let's go on and talk about PulseCon 2021. There's a few other topics I'm going to address in other videos, but for now, let's talk Transformer reveals because we got to find out 95% of the first wave of Legacy. Well, not even that, because obviously we're looking at a whole bunch that were not seen at the show, just in the promotional artwork. So, the absentees from the presentation, we're just going to get this out of the way here. Blaster, who's going to be in the Voyager class. Nice to see him. Hot Rod. Hard to tell, Skywarp or Thundercracker. Color's a little iffy. It looks like Skywarp. And then Iguanus, very obviously screaming off there on the right. Yeah, all of them, pretty much, they're all going to be core class figures. We already know that from all the leaked listings. Hot Rod with a sword is weird. We'll go with that. We'll see how that goes. And it's cool to see that it looks like we are getting, like, it looks like it's going to be this shell of Iguanus that transforms with an actual, like, lizard mode, rather than try to adapt the inner shell. Probably the best, it's about the only part of Pretenders anyone remembers is like the outer robot. You know, does anyone even remember that Bludgeon is supposed to be a green and burgundy tank? I don't think they do. So, yeah, this is looking cool so far. I wish there was a little bit more diversity, and we did, like, because we got one Prime character. And I'm saying one Prime character because that Bulkhead is not Prime design. No, we have RC and that's it. So everything else is still G1 in a line called Legacy, where we're rumored to get Cybertron, Armada, Beast Wars, a whole bunch of representation. But let's actually see what they did reveal, because we got a ton of reveals of what we are actually getting. And like I said, there were some absentees. We did not see anything core class, and the Voyager that is going to ship with the one Voyager they did show was not revealed. And I can't remember if that's going to be Blaster or Beast Wars Inferno. It's one or the other. But let's take a look at what we got so far, and we will actually speak of this. Then we'll start from the top down, because why not? So, first up, behold, Galavatron, in a very cool looking deco to invoke his reformatting scene from the original movie. It's not the grid pattern that I would have preferred, but it does give that same vibe. And the grid would be very, very difficult to get across all of these different parts. So I kind of appreciate that they figured out something that works for that. It still kind of invokes the same vibe, but is definitely not like an impossible color scheme or paint job. There's a lot of translucent plastic. Yes, I'm sure a lot of people pointed that out to me. However, it is very dark translucent plastic. I find the darker the plastic is, usually the better it holds up. Like just straight colorless clear plastic tends to fail most often for me. So this, I'm not terribly concerned with. This one should last for a while. And yeah, it actually looks really cool. Not cool enough for me to want to go to. I don't think I'd drop the 50 plus that this is going to cost. But yeah, it definitely looks cool. It's definitely a unique way of getting a repainted Galvatron out there. Moving on, let's look at some actual new molds for Legacy. We have Skidz, who at first glance just seems fine. You know, it's a G1 based Skidz. What more could you ask for? Well, let's see here. The SUV mode, I guess, it looks extremely boxy, extremely G1. Almost animation slavish, because it is just super hard angles all the way around the vehicle mode. I take issue with this figure. I'm going to take issue with quite a few of these figures, so bear with me as Old Man screams at clouds, and we go on about how wide his shoulders seem in this shot. That looks super awkward to me. Oh, I do not like that, and I don't like how hollowed out his legs are. A lot of people pointed out how hollow his legs are, because from the top of the thigh all the way down to his ankle, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of plastic in them. You can see it here, too. Like, there's just a whole lot of hollow space in there, and the way he transforms looks like a lot of this chest is going to be just nothing behind it except the hinges to connect all these parts together. The other thing I didn't like was these super thin arms. That looked weird to me. I don't know what, like, well, I know what that's about. Plastic saving, space inside the toy. It still looks weird. Credit to the photography guy who decided to show off this ridiculous gun mode that blocks one of the barrels of the gun and choose not to display the very obvious Energon axe as an Energon axe in his hand. Good job. Good job. Yeah, Skidz looks okay. I get him. I'm probably going to get him because I don't have a good-looking G1 Skidz. I've got the IDW, but that toy was always problematic. So I'm probably going to do away with him pretty soon. But yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad. Looking on the upside, one that I really don't have any complaint about, we're getting the rumors were true, we're getting a brand new set of Stunticons starting with Dragstrip. Good choice for the first one because of the unique vehicle mode with the 6 wheels. He's definitely not a Mirage, or a Mirage waiting to happen. He is just straight up animation accurate. The original Stunticon. A little bit of extra kibble on him, but nothing too terrible. I kind of like how it looks, honestly. I'm a little bit suspicious of the knee structure that we can see in this shot, but as long as it's got some tabs holding it together, hopefully that'll all hold together. And then the vehicle mode looks really nice. I actually really dig how the vehicle mode looks. I don't see, there's nothing about this that seems like it's going to combine into Menasor, which tells me we absolutely are getting a cartoon-accurate Menasor, which means it's just going to be a big gray Motormaster robot mode with cars stuck to the sides of his arms and the backs of his legs. That's going to be interesting. It'll be animation accurate, but the most compelling combiner it may not be. But yeah, on an individual basis, he looks nice. I actually really like how he came out. So this one's definitely a pickup for me. This one I would be happy to pick up even if it wasn't a combiner. All right. Prime RC, our first taste of someone out of G1's spectrum. Now, I've heard a few complain that the chest looks too wide. I think she looks fine. I don't see any issue with her whatsoever here. I think honestly she looks fantastic. I like her better than the Prime RID version of the character who came out. Vehicle mode looks nice. I do agree with the sentiments that this mold was definitely made with other ones in mind. I've seen Cybertron Ransack floated around, and from the transformation on the arms and where the wheels end up on the legs, I could absolutely see that. The weapon has led to people suggesting that G2 Road Rocket could be in the future. I could definitely see that as a Selects release. I kind of hope that Road Rocket is plan A and they don't plan to do a Ransack, because a Ransack without a crumple zone is just wrong. It's like Bulk without Skull. You can't do it. It's not right. It creates the imbalance in the universe that, throws the light side and the dark side of the Force at war with each other. Can't do it. You need them both. But beyond that, yeah, I'm actually quite happy with RC. I definitely want to get this one. Kickback. I am happy to see that we are getting Insecticons at the deluxe scale. I'm also very happy that they're taking a second stab at this, because I wasn't happy with the legend scale Insecticons that came out. Kickback especially. His was not good. But also, they came out at different times and in different toy lines. So The engineering style is different across them. The shades of yellow and purple they use are different. I think only Kickback uses translucent plastic, and the others are solid paint. They're a very mismatched set for a set of Insecticons that are supposed to match. So this looking much better. I like the kind of wing swords he has. Gives him a little bit of a fiercer look in the beast mode. And I'm surprised they actually like put in his like G1 arm split. It doesn't work quite the same, but the effect and look is the same. He is very much the G1 design, isn't he? They didn't try to reinvent the wheel on him at all. I'm a little bit torn on the wings because they kind of bragged that the wing texture is kind of the same style they use to get the scales and the fur textures correct on the Beast Wars figures for Kingdom, which means they're realistic. I really don't want Kickback's wings to be realistic. There's something weird about a realistic component on a very unrealistic grasshopper. Let's be honest. He's a big robot bug, but he's got organic style wings. That's a little bit weird. I like Kickback's look when he has those giant metal blades coming off of his shoulders. That's the cool look. That's the cool Kickback. This, I'm a little bit, nah. And also, of course, it's translucent plastic. But also, look how wide his shoulders are. Is that just going to be the thing in this toy line? Super wide shoulder stances? I know. I might be nitpicking on that one. But, yeah. I am looking forward to this one. I do really like how he looks. And I'd love to get another set of Insecticons that all match. So, hopefully, the rest come out as nice as this or better. Here's the one. Here is the one that divided the internet. So we have a G1 style Bulkhead. We're finally getting a toy line that's throwing out a little bit more, a few bones to us that want, classic characters from Prime, Beast Wars. I animated. Give me an animated figure. Give me an RID figure. Go nuts here. We're finally getting other continuities thrown into our current generation's toy line. And they throw in Bulkhead, who has been completely G1ified. Look at this picture. If it wasn't for the head, and forget that. If it wasn't for the chin, if this was sculpted with just a normal mouth and just a normal sized chin, that little bit of extra helmet hanging off like a normal Transformer design, you'd never think this was Bulkhead. You would never think that this was actually Bulkhead. The shapes are wrong. The proportions are wrong. Bulkhead's aesthetic is round. It's not just... Bulkhead isn't just bulky. That's the thing. He isn't just like a big body. He's round. It's a different look in Transformers than you normally get. He's definitely got bulk to him, but he comes across more Universe 2 Inferno than he does Bulkhead. He looks like a generic Autobot you'd run into on the Decepticon campaign of a video game. Like he's the bruiser you'd face in like the second level. Yeah, his arms are too small. His legs are too long. Bulkhead's supposed to be kind of a squat guy. No, did not get that here. He looks like Sunbow, Drew's animation model. Just nothing but boxes and normal proportions. So I don't like that they took the uniqueness away from Bulkhead's design. That's what bothers me. And it comes across as they want this mold for someone else, but they got this one out first. So the rumor was originally that this was going to be an Optimus Prime at some point, and honestly, he's got a vehicle that kind of lends itself to being it's a truck. It's a truck. So a Prime is possible. I don't think it would fit very well. I'd rather it turn into someone else. I'm not sure offhand. I'm not sure who, but I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not feeling this mold. I'm gonna wait for some in-hand opinions before I pick it up. I might wait for the remold or repaint, whichever it ends up being. I'm just not into this toy as Bulkhead. It just doesn't feel right, man. It just does not feel right. Optimus Prime in Generation 2. This is not the best photo because for whatever reason the shoulders look kind of weird, like the positions of his arms looks weird in this shot. But yeah, he looks really nice. Like okay, that's better. Yeah, the shapes are there. Yeah, the G2 design, brilliant. I love that they've worked in, like, there's missile pods underneath these shoulders. I don't know if the stock photos. Yes, they do. There we go. Missile pods. And combining weapons. He gets a shield and he gets a sword. Because, of course, you can't have a laser prime without a sword. You got an axe handle there if you want to make a big axe out of it, too. Options. Weapon options. I like that. The toy itself looks really, really nice. I will admit, it's a little bit off-putting that they've reused the crotch and hips of Earthrise Optimus. That's just straight up reusing parts that have been used now for 2 different toy lines, so now we're going to use them again for a 3rd. It's ultimately a minor detail, but it's noticeable when you're trying to look for, like, uniqueness in this figure. Also, I'm noticing, like, and I know it's kind of the G2 Prime thing, there's very little paint on this guy. Like, he's got, you know, of course, he's got the face is painted, and then he's got the little bit on the shoulders, and the rest of it just looks like molded plastic outside of, like, okay, outside, like, the silver. It looks like a lot of the paint went into the flames job on the vehicle mode. Did they not even paint the rest of his smokestacks? Why are the smokestacks translucent? I just noticed that. That's not a good look. That's not a good look at all. Okay, this is the render. Is that true in the... Okay, no. The final toy's painted. Good. That would have bugged me. Does come with a full trailer. Trailer does transform into a battle base similar to the G2 toy. No firing disc gimmick, of course, because we can't have firing gimmicks anymore. Yeah, I'm eager to see how this one turned out. This one I will definitely pick up. It's heading for a Scourge repaint. You know it is, because every G2 Prime eventually is going to become Scourge. But yeah, it's going to be a good option. It's going to be a good option for that. He's got that little bit of mean edge to him that the G2 design had. I like that. Let's see. Who else? Is that it? Is that really it? We didn't get a whole lot. Like, considering, like, this is going to be, like, wave 1 of Generations Legacy, I'm kind of surprised that there's not a whole lot here, but that's how that goes. There were a bunch of other reveals that they did throughout this. I can breeze through some of them. Rise of the Beast, fine. Cheetor is going to be in it, fine. The Transformers, the experience is never going to come close enough to me to actually enjoy. Transformers VR, that one I would look forward to, except it's coming to Steam and PlayStation. I need it to come to the Oculus store to work on my headset, so hopefully that is a thing in the future. Transformers and Smite is weird. I keep thinking Transformers are going to end up in Fortnite because Hasbro is doing the toy line, and they already put Snake Eyes in the game. But in Smite, it's weird to me that Optimus Prime and the cast of Ruby can throw down. That's kind of a weird reality to realize exists. Okay, Earth Wars. I'm not gonna touch Earth Wars, and I was never really into the game. I never really paid attention to it. The game's getting Magnaboss and Tripredacus. Kind of wish the toy lines would do that. And I gotta laugh that we can't re-release Devastation the game, so we're going to release Devastation the soundtrack. We're gonna get something out. Oh, I want to take a look at the packaging for Earth. We got the packaging for for Legacy as well, because it's interesting. The PulseCon exclusives, the Galvatron pack. The Galvatron pack does come with a whole bunch of like little minis that are Unicron scaled, and 4 Dinobots in Dino mode, but no Sludge. It's Snarl instead, the Dinobot that wasn't fighting Unicron. And I'm genuinely wondering if that's because the long neck on the Brontosaurus mode might have been a little bit too thin for them to get at that size without, easily breaking. It might not even have been possible. I don't know. But it's a weird omission. But good on Snarl. It's better than he got in the movie. Alright, so, then, yeah, of course, the other PulseCon exclusive is Ravage. I've got Ravage on the way. Of course I do. Because that's, like, the one I was so excited for. They did Hall of Fame inductees, and the toy from Kingdom was Tigatron, even though very few people have been able to get a hold of Tigatron so far. It's been kind of hard to find one in a store. I don't know who else I would have picked from Kingdom offhand, because it's late, and I need to get to bed as soon as I finish editing this, so my brain isn't quite all there right now. And then Inferno got the nod for the Hall of Fame for the Beast Wars cast. It's weird that Inferno got in there before Rat Trap, I think even I don't even think Rhinox made it in the Hall of Fame. I can't keep track of the Hall of Fame now because the Hall of Fame used to be a special thing, and here we are 10 years later after its inception, and now it's just like a little thing we throw in at the panel. Oh, by the way, this is a Hall of Fame character now. Good on John Machida Jr. for making it in. He's a one-season voice actor, but he's a very memorable one, so we'll give him that. Guido Guidi, one of my favorite Transformer artists. Good to see him make it in. Where's Scott? I'm like really kind of wondering, like, where is Scott? He's one of the most prolific actors in Transformers. He's been in the most stuff. All right, so let's see. This is just screenshots of everything. Like the VR experience looks cool. I'll probably not get to play it. Let's take a look at the package art. So it's super weird packaging this time. All the boxes are really angular, which I like when they go weird with the boxes and it's not just like a straight, just like hard 90-degree angles, because it looks more interesting. And I like the purple. The purple packaging is it stands out a lot. It's very different. The angled packaging is always just an invitation to get ruined in shipping or to get damaged on a toy shelf. So the fact that, and these days we don't have the translucent bubble inside the package to kind of shore it up a little bit, so it's just like raw cardboard in weird shapes. I'm not too confident that this is going to be all that survivable on a shelf or in a shipping box. It looks cool. I do like the look of it. Maybe a little bit too ambitious. I don't know. I think it looks neat, though. I think it looks neat. So, I think that's all the real reveals we had Transformer-wise. There's a lot to cover in PulseCon. I'm not going to cover the whole con, of course, because there's just a lot I'm not interested in. But, I'll probably do a little bit for the Power Ranger thing, because Hasbro kind of shut me up. And, yeah. Hopefully, we find out the rest of Wave 1. I'm kind of eager to see what the core class figures are going to look like. And I'm really curious to see Blaster, because I think it's Blaster that's going to be the Wave 1 with Bulkhead. If not him, then Beast Wars Inferno. Those are the two rumored Voyagers for the lines that I know of offhand. But we wait and see with bated breath and open arms, because it's a brand new toy line. It's exciting, and given the rumors we got behind this one, it's going to be an interesting year of toys, my friends. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.